What's up, friends, and welcome back. Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking to old school RuneScape content creator 9rain. He is known in the community for his energetic and creative storytelling, as well as his unique sense of humor that can sometimes rub people the wrong way. I will warn you, we basically talk about every controversial topic in the old school community, and it's quite the conversation. If you're not ready for that, you might want to watch something else. But if you are, I really hope you enjoy the conversation between me and 9rain. And of course, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And also make sure to like the video to help get this recommended to more RuneScape homies. Without further ado, here's 9rain. Alrighty, we're back after a little technical difficulty, but scuffed equals stuff. I'm really excited to have today's guest. 9rain, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Joe, I mean, just to catch everybody up, we've been shooting shit for like 30 minutes and probably should have hit record a little while ago, but I'm happy to be here, dude.
Yeah, man, dude, it's been fun so far. That's how I know it's going to be a good episode if it takes us longer than we anticipated to get started, man. So we were talking a little bit about like people taking shit too serious, and in one of your recent videos there was a little bit of controversy. Could you maybe take me through it, like, and explain to the audience, like, what happened and what they were upset about? Because, like, I was trying to grok it, and I'm like, yeah, like, it seemed like they were taking it way too serious.
Well, okay, so first of all, I'm not going to say I was asking for it, but, like, you know, when you tweet something that I know is going to get some people mad, it's like, well, it's not like I'm trying to make those people mad, but it's going to happen. And I knew that when I tweeted it. So it wasn't a surprise. And it doesn't offend me when people like comment on my stuff and they're like, 9rain, you're such an asshole. Oh my God. I'm really not trying to be. Basically, and here's the weird thing about the tweet. I tweeted out, so this is going to take some explaining, but I tweeted out a picture.
It's a good story.
Of me responding to a comment of God, it was some girl hopped into the comment section of one of my videos and was like, I opened up the YouTube video with something about Yama, who's a big demon boss, and welcome to Iron Man and the episode where, in honor of Pride Month, we get fucked in the ass for 3 weeks straight, which is funny. It's not like the best joke I've ever had, but I was like, huh, like, that's all I laughed, was just like, heh, but it was good. And,
I mean, I literally, like, I don't know, I've had people say, like, way worse shit, you know, about me or in context of something I'm affiliated with. Yeah, I was immediately like, what the being a Karen in your comment section on your video.
So like, I've got a couple funny angles for this whole thing, because first of all, if you're a gay dude on Pride Month, you are trying probably as hard as you can, praying mayhaps that you get fucked in the ass for 3 weeks straight. That's the goal. Yeah. So first of all, it's like, that's just written on the walls. Like, everybody knows that. And I'm making no judgment about it. Yeah. It just was funny. Because the joke is me, a straight guy getting fucked in the ass. That's the joke. Because straight guys don't like that shit. No. Some do, I guess. But, like, not me.
I don't know if they're straight at that point, bro. Like,
and I think everybody agrees on this point. We're all like, gay men love getting fucked in the ass. Straight men don't. Haha, 9rain, fucked in the ass.
Yeah. And it's a demon boss. It's just,
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I saw some Twitter art, and I was like, okay, here's the bit. It's funny. And whatever, the joke doesn't matter. But this chick comes into my comments and starts talking about how I was like, I'm pulling up the tweet right now just so I can like not misrepresent this chick. She said, it's an Iron Man. Which is hilarious. She immediately says something incorrect about my account. Didn't even watch it. It's an Iron Man, and he almost immediately made fun of Pride. Disliked, get off my history. Bigots inbound in the comments, don't care. I won't be here to read them. Which, okay. I just saw that and I had to respond. And it was obviously because of her attitude. She wasn't saying anything crazy. She said if she didn't like the joke, fine. But she did her little like me, and then like mic drop, called everybody. Yeah, called everybody a bigot,
The
and then mic
thousands,
dropped and left.
the 60,000 people that watched the video or so, like tens
Yeah,
of
she's just like,
thousands
you're
of
all
people.
bigots. And so I wasn't even upset about it, but I thought it would be kind of fun. I told her that my clan was gayer than hers, and that we're all friends and we joke with friends and nobody cares. And then I told her, I think, to piss off with her moral grandstanding, which was the point of the tweet. Was not about gay people. It was not about Pride Month. It was not about LGBTQ plus 2S, whatever. It was just about, don't come in here and try to tell me what jokes I can and can't say.
Tone policing.
When you know that this was in good fun and nobody cared but you. And the funny thing about this girl is I'm sure that somebody told her she had to care. Like,
Yeah.
she was told at some point in her life, this should offend you. You shouldn't do this. You have to be mad and be mean to people who do this. And that's just not true. You don't have to.
It's interesting you're going and understanding their psychology, because actually, you're completely right. Like, this person in this moment thought that they were like fighting some battle for some unspoken like atrocity.
Right. Well, and I can have some empathy for that. Like, I don't think, I mean, I'm sure she believes she's being the good guy here. I have to believe that, because it didn't seem like she was doing the just virtue signaling kind of whatever. It felt like someone told her that she had to feel that way, and I don't know. So anyways, I tweeted that interaction, also kind of to clear the air, because I make edgy jokes and a lot of them are at my own expense, but then a lot of them are at the expense of my friends and people that I know. And so like, it's kind of, I tweeted it to clear the air and be like, hey, we're all having fun with this. Nobody take this too seriously. And kind of vibe check it. And basically everybody thought it was funny. And then like, there's a small group of very angry people who don't like me already, and they didn't like the thing. And then there's a couple people who I think like my content, but felt like they had to be like, Nine Rain, you're better than this. And I was like, no, I'm not, for one. And for two, I don't think there's nothing to apologize here. Like, I would dig my heels in on that one.
If you would have talked to me like 6 months ago about like that context of, you were talking about people who do like your content, but then all of a sudden having like this groupthink reaction to what you said and want to like shame you for it, I completely understand. I don't think, tone policing jokes like that is really going to change anybody's thoughts anyway. I don't think a person who's an actual bigot is going to be convinced because, someone in a YouTube section is saying that shit.
Right. Do you want to know the example I give when people do that? It's the billboard signs on the side of the road telling you to repent for your sins and call this number. Yeah. I always see those and think, who are those for?
It's almost like a parody of prayer,
right.
A parody of social justice.
It's like, I think the people who put up those billboards made themselves feel better about it, but I don't think that anyone's out there like,
they took a check.
Holy shit, I never thought of that.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a sinner. Yeah. Why didn't anyone tell me? Thank God for the billboard.
No, for sure.
Yeah, big agree there. I don't think anyone's changing the world by getting pissed off like that. And like talking down to people and be like, no, you have to, And
nobody's queening for that shit.
Yeah. And like, I'm not trying to, so I don't come off as hypocritical and to defend myself. I usually don't try and change people's minds when I'm tweeting stuff or stating my opinion. I'm just trying to clear the air and have an honest, open conversation.
Yeah.
People can go home and think about it, or people can dig in, and maybe I go home and I'm like, well, I never looked at it like that. I don't really, excuse me. I'm drinking a fucking mineral water and it is spicy.
Four Loko.
Dude, it's a 1877 mineral water with lime. And it is like, I my hope is that it just it clears the air, and then I don't know. I don't I don't ever try and change people's mind, and I hope they don't try to change mine.
I think a situation like that too, though, has a lot of like value to talk about. Like to your credit on posting it and making it a discussion around the topic. Like it was a good opportunity because with all the Pride Month stuff happening, with I would guess I say shift in culture and people are just not wanting this like draconian censorship and be able to joke like no, it was a good situation to examine like how that actually plays out. And no, I think you're right.
Yeah, and a lot of people got mad because they were like, in Pride Month of all months, you're gonna punch down, and I was like, first of all, I don't think I'm punching down.
That
Gay people aren't
implies
stupid.
Yeah,
I know
that implies
that was my thought exactly. Was like, what do you think I'm punching down? I think it was I don't even remember who said that, but I was like, I don't. First of all, I'm not punching down. Second of all, which that's the whole joke. That's the whole reason guys do this. Is we're ribbing each other and giving each other shit. Is like you're one of us.
it's sparring.
That's literally the whole point.
We like to fucking wrestle and everybody backyard box back in the day. Like we have these it's like sparring, man. I truly think it's like a biological like heckling each other makes you stronger for the next person. It keeps your wit sharp.
Dude. Yes.
No, and it keeps you accountable.
That's what I was going to say. It checks you because, we can be egotistical and, it kind of keeps your ego in check, having people make fun of you and you kind of not take yourself too seriously. And that's always been like guy culture.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing here is just making jokes at each other at our own expense. And so I didn't think I was punching down.
Well, and it's a welcome to the brotherhood, if you will, as well. If I'm willing to joke with you, I'm comfortable around you. I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like I trust you enough to say this heinous shit in front of you. that's it.
Anus. I know you said heinous, but no.
So this anus shit, that's Pride Month's over, but
yeah, shit, it's July.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing Disabled People Month or something like that?
No,
I'm not even trying to make
actually,
a joke
right
about
after Pride Month comes Shame Month and then Disabled People Month. So we're just getting Shame Month started, actually.
When's Gluttony Month?
Gluttony Month? That's got to be November. Things are slowing down. You're fattening for the winter.
I probably do gain the most weight in November. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
You brought up a point of like you're not going to change anyone's mind by going in the comment section and mic dropping like that.
Yep.
And trying to tone police. And I would take that a step further and say, you're just going to piss people off. Like, and they're just going to do it and be like, tell me I can't do this. Fuck you.
Preach, bro. Because I think that's why I don't even like saying red pill because I don't even think it's that. I think that's why people in general are so fucking sick of like not being able to just speak freely and be a human being is because of that. It's like at a certain, like even me, like I've been an advocate for LGBTQ people and it's exhausting to say something and people want to take it as hateful. Like all you're really doing is decreasing the amount of people who want to patronize. I don't even think that would be the word for it, but yeah, you're making people not even want to like agree with you. If you come and speak to me, more respectfully than, but calling me a stupid fucking bigot, like that's not going to change my opinion, bro.
Right. It's the same kind of moralizing that I think turns people off to immature religion. Mm-hmm. Is that like talking down kind of head pat where it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, what are we doing here?
That's actually a good point. I've been pissed off at a church I went to before, and I am a Christian, but you're actually right. There's a lot of places you'll go to that do that. Cause like I have full sleeve tattoos, for example. And I went to this Christian church in a small town, and I would go there every Sunday for a couple months. And, it would be like usually before work, I'd work in the evening and I would wear long sleeve shirts. So they didn't know I had tattoos, and I live in the South. Well, it was like one Sunday I worked out. I had like a fight coming up, and I worked out before going to church, but I still wore like, a polo shirt, short sleeve. Anyway, every day they would tell you to stand up, shake hands with somebody around you. And it
Yeah.
was like, I could just see the way people were looking at me. And it's like, instead of them just being friendly and welcoming anyway, they, weren't. And it's like, I don't know, that's exactly how it feels, If you're just
Yeah.
if you're just able to be you, then you're Gucci, but fucking being a Karen about it, you're not going to change anybody's mind. And in fact, it makes you a bad representative of the ideology or like type of people, community you're representing, because that could have turned another person off from Christianity.
That's why, that's why I called it immature religious, or immature religion, or immature religious people, because it's like, you're of every tribe and every creed. There's people that are maybe not giving it a very good reputation.
They ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
I'm telling you. Dude.
I mean, like fill in the blank with how many people groups get pissed off at like the guy doing the thing again that they're known for, and they're like, "Fuck this guy!" Like, of course he had to make us all look bad.
Yep. No. And one of the ways, like, and one of that video games are so awesome is that it is a pretty diverse demographic naturally. Like, it's not really one of those things that has to be forced. You have a lot of different people that play video games. And I'm sure plenty of gay people thought the joke was funny. So I noticed earlier that you did make a RuneScape Dragonwilds video. And I didn't initially send this to you on topic list, so sorry if I'm just sideblinding you. I mean, it should be fine. Dragonwilds, I played it quite a bit. I probably put about 100 hours into it.
Damn, okay.
Beat it in about, 30, taking my time and looking at lore stuff. So I played it quite a bit, but what'd you think of it?
I like it, man. I think it has a lot of potential. I think there were some people that I talked to that were disappointed, and they were like, "It's not RuneScape," and I was like, "It's not. It's the RuneScape IP in a survival game. It's like Valheim, but with a RuneScape mod, kind of." And I liked Valheim, and I liked RuneScape Dragonwilds. If you take it for what it is, it's a great game. It needs a lot. It needs a whole lot. It was definitely an alpha and definitely not even a beta. But if I was talking to the developers, what I would tell them is they need to pick a scope. Like if they just leave it like, we're going to add every skill and we're going to add 500 regions and we're going to blah, blah, blah. It's like they need to pick a scope and then just nail the experience. You need to let me move while casting my motherfucking jump spell. Holy shit. I can't believe I'm like, oh, the one mobility spell you get in the game, I have to stand still and cast it for 2 seconds.
Oh, is that Surge? I didn't even play the newest patch.
No. I mean the leap.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Jump real high. Yeah, the air jump or whatever. Okay,
the fact that I couldn't move while casting this, like I'm making it sound like a bigger problem.
No, actually, because like those Garud guys, they'll hit you before you can cast it.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, like
it sucks ass, man. Yeah.
Like one might say, okay, well, go to the game and don't get in a situation where you can't use the spell, whatever. But I wish I could.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah. So, anyways, the game, Redditors. I liked it. I liked it enough. I would play it again, but it needs
it needs like 5 times as much content for it to be like a legit game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say if there's 2 things it needs a lot more content. It needs to be way harder. It was piss easy.
Really?
I mean, I thought it was like my video is basically my journey to completely trivialize the final boss. There are some very punishing moments, so I'll add an asterisk next to that. There are some very punishing moments in the game, like getting stuck in a death cycle, get through the Garu land, like trying to reclaim your shit. That can be really punishing. And so there's a couple of things like that are difficult.
You said you played bad. You said you played Valheim, right? How many hours would you say you put into that?
Oh God, 150.
Okay,
maybe more. I don't know.
It was my first survival game. The only thing that even felt remotely close, and I'm not slandering Elden Ring. For the record, I like Dragonwilds a lot, especially because some of the mods, like I've interviewed and stuff on this channel, you know, they're working on it. I know they do good stuff. Mod Raven is the quest guy for that game. But it felt combat wise similar to Elden Ring, the way you would like cast like a buff on your weapon before you go in, kind of like magic grease. I think a mount probably would have been good, but I thought it was fun, you know, after beating the first Abyssal Demon by far casting, because that's probably...
Dude, the Abyssal Demon is such a cool reveal, too. That felt awesome.
Swamp, bro.
Seeing an Abyssal Demon and be like, holy shit, this is what this should have been.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. That was the was the coolest moment for me, was seeing the Abyssal Demon and be like, what the fuck? It's an actual demon.
That was my reaction. Like, they did a great job on that. And that's the type of stuff that Mod Raven like does with his writing. I mean, I know it was the whole team, but I'm just talking about, like, you know, I guarantee that was like his hand at play, because there's some good stuff on RS3 that he wrote. Yeah, I know RS3 is terrible. But yeah, I thought the game was decent. I think it needs like actual bosses and probably some variety on the dungeons. You know how they all just kind of have those fucking robot Megazord dudes with souls. And I mean, it's okay, but yeah, it was very bare bones. Did you do any PvP at all?
No, didn't do any PvP.
Did you happen to see any of the tweets? I forget who it was by. There was some popping tweets with hundreds or thousands of views, which is relatively decent for old school. Or I mean, for the RuneScape community, Jagex. There we go. That's the umbrella term. But yeah, there were some tweets where some people were like getting people in their server, killing them and taking their shit. But I did some PvP with my buddy Darth Chosen, and it was actually pretty fun. It kind of reminded me of like Elden Ring PvP, but yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I can see that, and I get this game as well as Elden Ring has very committal attacks. Like, you press the attack button and now it's gonna fucking happen, and you have to watch it play out for the next
3 seconds.
Sometimes it's only half a second to a second. And
I'm a great sword user, bro. It's
yes,
wild.
and if you fucked up, it's already, you're watching it and you're like, oh fuck, and then it plays out and you get hit, and so it's very committal. And like, you can't strafe while swinging in Dragonwilds.
What's strafe? Does that move?
Running left and right.
Okay.
So like side to side.
Okay.
You can't do that in the second you hit the attack button, it locks your character and it plays the animation. And so it is very committal in that way. And so it's pretty similar to Elden Ring and Souls-like games in that regard too.
Did you play any Night Rain? My bad.
I have not.
Okay.
But considering the namesake or like similarity, you'd think I would have. And I've considered it. I just haven't yet.
It's for $40. I gotta say, it's $10 more than Dragonwilds, and I was gonna do a rough comparison. Like, so it's the same as Elden Ring as far as like, you know, how you fight and shit. But the greatest thing about it, there's like ultimate arts for each character. But probably my favorite thing is there's a double jump and you can just like climb up shit immediately, and no fall damage.
Ah, nice. Okay.
So nice.
Fall damage is brutal in Souls games.
Oh my god.
And it was brutal in Dragonwilds too, dude. Yeah. You would fall 10 feet and you'd be fine. You'd fall 12 and you'd be fucking dead. It was like, yeah.
I hope it gets a good amount of like investment in it. What do you think about Mod North? You think he's doing all right? Kind of as a segue into that.
Mod North. Which one was Mod North?
He is the CEO.
Oh, was he the guy that everyone got pissed at when they removed the Pride event?
Not everyone, but yes. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Reddit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's who they're talking about.
I don't know if I even have an opinion on the... So for his RS3 video, I watched the announcement. Based as hell. Good for you guys. I get the line that he has to walk, because it would be so good for the game if they could just get rid of all the pay to win, all of it, just remove it. But the other big thing on the internet right now is the, what's the petition?
Stop killing games.
Talking about? Yes. The whole point of that is we paid for something, you can't take it away from us. We paid for a game, you can't take it away from us. So RS3, you got all these people that paid all this shit, all this money for stuff in the game. You can't really just take it away from them and be like, well, we're all gonna. If you want all that shit, it's on one of the 100 servers, and it's the fake server, and you can go play with your little toys over there if you want to. But we're restarting the game with no MTX over here. Then it would feel like, well, what did I pay all this money for?
I think they need to do that, and I'm gonna just like, because that's actually something I was gonna ask you, and you totally read where that was going. Would you play a fresh world? Like if they started over, would you at least give it a shot? I know we generally.
Personally, yes, but for the sake of being a content creator, and I love interesting ideas like that for a video, I would absolutely do it. As a normal player, I'm not sure, because there's three things that really bothered me. I have played RuneScape 3 on 2 different occasions.
Okay.
And I got 99 magic in RuneScape 3 because I hopped in on a double XP weekend and went straight to, what did we do? It was me and Ingus and Avra, and we did the most heinous, hilarious shit. We went straight to
Avra
the wild.
RS, the lore guy?
Yeah, the lore guy.
Bro, okay.
So
Shout out to him.
Avra and I go way back. He did a RuneScape series called Wildy Mom. Well, that was the name of the account, but it was called Wilderness Only or something like that back in the Snowflake days. And then me and him and his buddy Strangelove did a series that's on our YouTube channel. It's called Playing RuneScape Improperly. And you know, the funny, to kind of bring this full circle with the whole Pride Week thing, we were just degenerate weirdos playing RuneScape Improperly. That's where my whole community comes from, is we did live streams, we did that series, and we made jokes about everything and everyone.
I actually had no idea. That's such a small world. He inspired me a lot to make lore videos, so that's crazy, bro.
Dude, he's good. He's good. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
He's so dry, and he leans into it, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
And so I'm like this loud, annoying person, and he's the perfect straight man. So when we're on, when we're on camera together or doing something in a group, it just really worked.
Mayonnaise and mustard, you know?
Yes, dude. Yeah. And so.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So to kind of bring it back to the whole Pride Month thing, the reason all of my mods, all of my admins, everybody in my community, like 80% of them are gay, trans, otherwise and like, it's just because we don't care. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
It's not.
And it's just so funny how pissed off people get at me in the weird little Twitter bubble about like, this guy hates blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, we don't care. We don't think about it.
I honestly don't even recall like anyone, when I say anyone serious, I'm talking about like a good faith. I don't even know if that's what you call it, but I didn't see anyone real who was actually pissed off at you. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
I saw a couple.
Fair, but also I have seen a decent amount of people sending me screenshots or DMs and be like, hey, and I'm not starting any drama today. I'm not mentioning any names, but there have been.
It was EVscape.
Enough people. It was EVscape. I hate that guy.
Yeah, he blocked me. So. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I actually know EVscape, and I like him. Jake is funny. I don't know if you were an ass or he was an ass.
No, I was a total asshole. It was deserved. Yeah, we ain't even got to go into it. It was deserved.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I was mostly joking. I probably just made a meme out of his like that one image everybody posts of him sitting there. Yeah, probably made a meme.
I think I've probably seen it. I can't remember the one you're talking about, but
this is a good meme. But yeah, go ahead.
But no, it wasn't Jake. But I've seen other people have. I mean, there are enough content creators that don't like me, but they're not open about it. They just do it secretly.
Do you think that your gregarious nature, your loud nature, is why they don't like you? Because sometimes I feel that way too. And just while we're on the topic, wasn't anything I even thought about beforehand. But you saying that, like, do you feel like when you're comfortable being you and you're kind of loud, do you think that it just draws some sort of like, I don't know, just anger from some people? Like they just don't think you should be comfortable and be making jokes like that, you know, and just draws out that like hall monitor Karen nature.
Maybe I'm not sure. I think for the vast majority I'll tell you this, man. I get, and I hate to pull this card because this is the card that I decline when other people pull it, and I call bullshit. But if I'm just being honest, the amount of times that I have been talking to someone online, having a conversation or whatever, and they find out I'm from Texas, and they go, ugh, Texas? And completely suck the life out of the conversation. And I'm like, dude, what a prejudiced, bigoted thing to say.
That is actually, they're xenophobes. Bro, I'm from Kentucky and I get that shit too. Like immediately.
And it's like, dude, that's what people say I'm like. And it happens to me, not all the time, but a lot.
The irony that they can't see themselves in the mirror.
I know, dude. It is so ironic. And so, like, that's some of it is people do see me and go, white boy from Texas, he's a fucking fill in the blank. And it's like, dude, I didn't even fit in. First of all, I'm from Austin. So if you're going to be stereotypical, you've
liberal.
Missed.
Yeah,
we're gay as shit here.
Blue, yeah.
Like, and secondly, I didn't fit in with the Texas crowd when I was here. I'm not country. Mm-hmm. There are some parts of me that are like that because I grew up here. And there are other parts that I would be around the country people, the real Texas people, the South Tex ranchers, whatever. And they'd make fun of me for being a city boy. So it's like, dude, everywhere you go, so I was like, oh, you're from Texas? Oh, you bigot. And I'm like, so that's some of it. And then some of it is, to be honest, I do make jokes. Mm-hmm. And I am making fun of people in those jokes. And sometimes people aren't in on the joke and they don't get it and they do just take it wrong.
Do you find it funny? I do sometimes. Like, I'm almost willingly cringe because, like, I'll say something just fucking stupid. And maybe 3 friends get it, kind of like you were saying. They're not in on the joke. 3 friends will think it's funny, but everybody else cringes. And you honestly, it makes it even funnier to you because you just don't care.
Yeah, so dad jokes are saying bad jokes on purpose.
Yes.
Now, that's a whole style of comedy of intentionally, it's like anti-comedy. It's like the Norm Macdonald, where you just say stupid shit and you bomb on purpose. And the people who know you're doing it on purpose, it's hilarious. So, okay, like, what was it? I think it was before we hit record, I was...
Red Blob?
You and I were talking, and I was doing some bit about how, oh yeah, all the people, those aren't even real Nazis. All of my best friends are real Nazis. I would know what a real Nazi's like. And like, my best friends are not. I don't know a single Nazi. But like, that's the joke, is I say something stupid like that out loud. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I know plenty of Nazis. I get dinner with Nazis all the time. And then you don't explain the joke.
He's a divisive figure, but Sam Hyde kind of jokes like that. Like, you just don't know what the fuck,
Dude, he's so good at that. He's so good at it that sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is still not an elaborate bait.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Sam Hyde is like. He's killing it. All of his characters, I love it.
Do you ever feel like some of his bleeps aren't actually swear words, like they just do it to be funny? Because honestly, sometimes it just doesn't even look like he's saying something that should be bleeped, and I'm like, he didn't actually say. They're just bleeping.
It's got to be, yeah, probably. They probably just roll a dice and then pick a word, and they're like, all right, that one, we're bleeping it every time.
No, like, I'm glad you're like that, man. Again, that was really, when I got like started looking at your stuff, was just kind of seeing you casually through Twitter. It's kind of magical how that works out, and you're a big creator, dude. Like, that's fucking cool. I think a lot of people, we were talking about a little bit about it earlier, but it's like, I think a lot of people in the content creator scene, like, they have like this image to put up, and I get it. I'm not going to say the creator we were talking about, but who took down a video because another person was involved. And I get it, but also it's kind of like, fuck, man, those 10 or 12 or who cares, 100 people out of tens of thousands who get like really upset about something, like, you're kind of robbing everybody else of the experience. I mean, it just...
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think most of the time when people are mad online too, and they want an apology, it's just a mob. It's just a mob. And they're like, crucify him, crucify him. And then you apologize and they're like, fuck you still.
Yes.
And it's like they're not going to forgive you. They just want you on your knees.
It's like they were looking for blood to begin with.
Yeah, dude. I don't trust the people who say that they have good intentions about, I don't know, trying to censor other people and whatever. I don't think the loud Twitter people asking for the video takedown are doing it for the good of the people they're pretending to protect.
They just want one person to suffer, someone they just don't personally like,
Yeah, well, and they want to feel powerful because they want to feel like they can make you do something. Apologize, bend the knee, And
when you bend the knee, they get more bold. So it's like, yeah, we got to.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like I think that is a slippery slope. I think that you should be real careful when you apologize. That you better think that it's something worth apologizing for.
Because it will never go away. They will use it every single time. Speaking of like censorship, I think it's a pretty good segue into it. Censorship is typically to stop the discourse of an idea. But what I think is even worse, or I guess not really even worse, but something that's just as bad, especially with a game company, is when they ignore feedback, right? And, we could sit and talk about MTX and other examples with RuneScape 3, but Oldschool has been a pretty player-focused game, I think is fair, for a long time. However, recently we've got sailing coming out, and I've not made up my mind about what I actually think the majority of the community wants, because you have some people who may be silent and like sailing, but it seems to me a huge majority of players do not like it. Do you think that, kind of a combo thing, do you think that the players want sailing still? Do you think that Jagex is just going to put it out? And what do you think of sailing?
I think I actually have a take on this. I think Jagex should hire me to do their PR for this. And this is what I would look at the camera and I'd be like, hey, Twitter, hey, everyone complaining about sailing. You say you don't want sailing and it's not going to be good. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you want. You don't know how to make a game. And even if you did, you couldn't make a good one. And I'm not saying that you're worse than the people working on it, because they also don't know what they're doing. It's a fucking game. And so whether sailing comes out or not, the game's going to be fine.
Yeah.
If sailing comes out, take it for what it is and play it and do the thing. And you will probably have a good time doing it. If Fire Making released today, you'd be like, what the fuck is this horrible, useless, no good piece of shit? If Agility released, people would be fucking slitting throats. They have zero principles for their arguments. All they care about is new thing, must be perfect. Here's all my opinions. Shut the fuck up and play the game. Take it for what it is. I don't care. Maybe Jagex would bleep some of that, but
yeah.
And look,
I mean, they let Hootie on the team, so I don't actually think they care too much.
Dude, do I think that Jagex is going to mess up sailing? Yeah, probably. And then they'll dial it in, and it'll probably end up being fun. And I can guarantee you, it is way more designed and fine-tuned than anything they fucking released, like construction. What? That broke the game. Teleports literally everywhere all the time. All this shit in your house. Everything about construction was horribly broken and overpowered and completely changed the game.
It's true.
So, and I know that people are touchy about, well, but you got to draw a line somewhere, and when is it going to become RS3? And look, as long as it doesn't change the fundamental experiences of the game that they have been playing, because they're feeling the same thing that people who are the Don't Kill Games movement are feeling, which is we have this thing and we want to keep playing it. And I want to play Super Mario 64 in 30 years. What happens if I can't play OSRS in 30 years because it's so different? My advice to those people is this is not Mario 64. This is old school RuneScape. And it has always been changing. It will always change, and it changes way the hell slower than anything else that I can think of. And they do actually listen to the players. It's crazy, and they poll stuff. So, my TLDR, it's not that serious. Have fun playing the game. If you're not having fun, don't play the game.
I mean, at a certain point, though, like, just to push back some, I think that, you know, you do have a lot of people who are heavily invested in it. So I got to give credence to their argument on that front. I think that you had a good point that the game is always going to be changing. But we were talking about, you know, it changing, like, inherent things. One thing that I know, I saw Rendy, I think, make a post regarding the cannon fire. And this, again, this is one small thing, but gonna use it as an example. Potentially on an account, you know, it might mess up an account, you know, or this and that, or it might be some meta changing thing.
I know that's what you're talking about the ships being able to shoot stuff on land or something.
Yes, and I get it's a small weird thing, but that's just one example of that, you know. And the thing that really, like, made me recently start thinking about it more, to be honest, I think it is a little corny. I think that it would be a lot better added to the game as, like, you know, a travel style versus a skill.
I agree with you for the record. I agree with you. Yeah, I think it would, and it does feel like a mini game, and people can mince words about that. And I saw Rigando, some dude calling him like an asshat because Rigando said that. First of all, it feels like a mini game, and second of all, he was basically saying it feels too simplistic and it feels too complicated.
You made a good point about fire making and agility, though. To your credit, like, I actually think that is a good point. If that shit got released today, it would be somebody's like, you can make a fire.
Rooftop courses, people would have lost their shit. Are you kidding me? And those were new. Rooftop wasn't even always around.
Is it becoming RS3? So I'm gonna do a full video on that because I think there's a lot of, like, different aspects that aren't even just sailing. There are, like, other things. I do worry about them listening. I'm just giving a little credence to that, just from my own personal anecdotes with stuff on RS3. They're the same company after all. I really feel like you have moderators or JMod specifically, developers, if you don't play RuneScape and you happen to be watching this, I think that they do want to make what players want, but I think you do have some who will take a look at negative feedback and just ignore it. The thing that I'm really questioning, though, is the extent. Did you see how many people were roughly playing the beta? It was
bad.
It was embarrassing, and that's where I'm like, okay, is this really, like, that fucking bad? You know, are people really so don't want it that much? And that's kind of when I really, really started taking it serious. The last week, and, you know, again, we had the baby, so I hadn't been paying attention to sailing as much. I got permanent banned off Twitch. I'm unbanned now, so I had a lot of shit going on, and I wasn't really paying attention to the publications about sailing or streams or anything like that. And then, you know, we got out of the hospital. I saw the numbers. I saw some posts, and I'm like, fuck, you know, I got a little panic in my heart. Is this actually something bad? So I'm just giving credence to some of the people who
so okay, so I'll actually, if I got to vote, I wouldn't want it to be a skill.
Okay.
I'd say just, like, add it into the game and, like, as a travel method, and do some other thing with it. Like, give us a tab, give us numbers to track, give us whatever. I don't know if it doesn't feel like the other skills. Right. It doesn't feel like
it might be a
makes
good thing.
Sense.
You know, it might end up being a good thing. I think, too, this is a huge fucking strong point for it, is the variety of content, though, that can come from it. So it's like, again, I'm about 70% sold that it just shouldn't be a skill, but the content's good. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, so I have seen the posts. I'm nervous about it. I think it looks campy and pretty clunky, and campy? Like, I'm not even
my bad.
Campy.
Yeah.
I use the word because I'm terrible at defining words that I use.
Okay, so basically, like, just making sure I understand, like, basically something where you just sit and do the same thing.
Campy definition. No. What the fuck?
My bad. I'm pseudo new to. We kind of talked about this earlier, but I'm pseudo new to the gaming stuff. So like, I didn't know what based meant until like last year. I kept seeing people say it. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Campy is something that is intentionally exaggerated, theatrical, and often cheesy or over the top.
Okay.
To the point of sometimes being ironically appealing. So campy just means it's like cheesy.
Okay.
Like it looks a little
joke.
corny to me.
Dad joke.
And I wish it wasn't going to be a skill. In my mind, there's the combat skills, and then there's basically just gathering and production.
Mm-hmm. And this kind of fits into more of a like whatever. I mean, it's
like,
kind of a mixture.
Like maybe there's like then there's skills maybe like Slayer that is not really gathering. It's not really a direct combat skill, and it's not production, but it's just a measure of your progress in this arena of life. And it feels weird to just add sailing and say sailing is a big important part of being a Gillenorian when it's not. It has never been.
Yeah.
Slayer, aka running around and killing monsters, was always a huge part of RuneScape. So adding the Slayer skill felt like, yeah, I do that all the time. Now we're just measuring it.
But also to your point earlier too, though, if I were to argue for sailing, we've got like charter ships and stuff, you know. So no, that's
yeah,
point kind
but
of
that's
maybe for the other side.
Yeah, but you try and engage with that as little as possible, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I agree.
Like we're not going to have a hot air ballooning skill. And be like, well, there's hot air balloons, and we need a skill for it. It's like, I don't think you need a skill for hot air balloons.
I think that a lot of people have a bad taste too. Not only from the, I'm going to use the word campy. I actually like that. But it used to be a meme for a long time. I'm pretty sure you played for years and years. And I think there's been like April Fool's sailing things.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you think that, to like your earlier point, do you think that a lot of people just aren't giving it a chance? Do you think it's like meme? It's like Nickelback?
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. Okay. I don't think they're not giving it a chance because of the meme. I think they're not giving it a chance because some people are pissed off because they want a shamanism. Some people hate change, and so they're not going to give it a chance no matter what. And it doesn't matter what Jagex did. They could kill it, and people would be pissed. And then some people are not going to give it a chance because it has got a bad rep on Twitter, and maybe rightfully so. And then some people are not going to give it a chance because it doesn't look that good. And the first couple gameplay shots of it looked so rough. It was like, dude, I don't know that I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's going to come with some cool stuff, though. Like, at least I think. I know that they put, again, I know I'm kind of arguing both sides here, but they put Mod Shogun on it, who worked on a bunch of...
Hey, I know Shogun.
Yeah, he's
Anjin, him and I are tight.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I really like him. And I think that he has a good read on what players want, and he came from RS3. But yeah, I think that one of my biggest fears, though, is the whole... the feeling that some developers just view players like, you know, in a negative light, or, you know, the sunken cost fallacy. And I think it's a fair thing to not necessarily want sailing at the moment, but I want the game to succeed. I think you're right that ultimately, you know, it is going to get, the needle's going to get moved, and it's going to get fixed enough if it does end up coming into the game as is. I hope to see, you know, RuneScape exist for years and years. It's not something like, I've seen comparisons to EOC, which I get, but I don't think that's fair. Do you? Because combat is more
it's not fair at all.
Core gameplay.
EOC was a removal of core game mechanics and a substitution of other ones. Yep. This is not touching anything. It's not like they got rid of
Wheel of Fortune. Like, it's nothing. You don't think it's that bad.
It's not
like
even close.
Okay.
It's not even close. So I actually think when sailing is going to release, first of all, I don't care what happens. They're going to release it. They're a game dev studio that's been paying a full-time crew of 60, 70, whatever for 2 years straight, running this thing, building up sailing, doing pitch docs, meetings, like producing content. They've been cooking on this thing. It's going to release. So if everyone who's listening and is mad about sailing, just make peace with it. It's coming out. It's coming out, baby.
No, a lot of my bros, they don't like sailing, but
you know what? I think they will.
You think so?
I think they will. I think they're going to be fine with it. And look, and here's the main thing. So. If you pull yourself out of the terminally online, we play this game too much. I'm including myself. Twitter, whatever sound chamber that we're all in, and you go talk to normal people who play RuneScape, this is not a problem for them. They're just going to go, oh, sailing? I know that's kind of neat. And they're going to log into RuneScape for the first time in 3 years on their account with base 30s and 63 mining because they did that AFK at their office job on mobile. And they're going to be like, oh, sailing, this is kind of cool. And they're going to try it for a little bit, and they're going to play a little more RuneScape, and that's going to be it. And then Asmongold's going to make a video about sailing, and fucking Soda Poppin's going to log back in, and there's going to be like angry Twitter posts about Mod North, and then it's going to blow over, and people are going to max again, and it's going to be fine.
Do you think that, and this isn't like a nasty question or anything, do you think that appeasing that player, though, is how RuneScape continues? Because, from just my point of view, one of RS3's downfalls, to the credit, I know there's EOC and other things for sure that are like big, marks against it, but mid-game bloat. And I have seen some criticism. Do you think that's a fair criticism, or do you think they should aim for that mid-level player? Like, which type of content do you think benefits the game more?
I understand the fear of mid-game bloat. There has been a lot of new stuff added. All of Arlamore, the Perilous Moons,
good update.
All the Hunter stuff.
Good update.
It's all dope. It's all dope and it's all cool. But I can see how, looking back at it, if you were going to play through an account like an Iron Man or something and get the experience that you thought you should have, it is now dramatically different.
And Oathplate versus Torva. So I just wanted to quantify
right.
How Oathplate's a lot easier and less time consuming.
Right. So here's, I don't know. I was thinking through this recently too, especially with the Oathplate Torva thing.
My bad. I didn't even think we'd end up getting on this, but it's actually, I feel like it's an important
like
topic.
I think they have to be careful. I do think Jagex has to be careful with not, because you used to be able to kind of play through RuneScape and check off boxes and feel like you really, like, hey man, I kind of finished the mid game.
Got your Barrows gloves.
Hey, I got Barrows gloves, and I got some Barrows equipment, and I got spooned blowpipe at Zora, and I have a rune crossbow. I'm ready to go and try some raids. We're heading into the late game. Now the mid game's fucking huge.
It is, and I have like a 2K total iron that I quit for about 2 years to play RS3. I know. Leave me a comment about how dumb I am. But no, like I came back and Perilous Moons is out, and like I had already done even though it had come out, I did Desert Treasure 2 because I didn't want to go to Perilous Moons and get stuff, but I did that in like Arims, and Mystic. And killing the Whisperer in that was AIDS. But really, if I would have played through after it had come out, I probably would have gone to Perilous Moons first. And it's kind of like that. I don't know if the mid-game bloat kind of like makes things arbitrary. Like, really, why would anybody go to Barrows now? Type deal as well.
Yeah,
I think it's both good and
I guess the idea would be go do 200 Perilous Moons, go do 200 Barrows chests, get your ramshackle gear, and go to the next thing. It's just the people who should be worried about mid-game bloat are the completionist types who like to check off the box and be like, we're done with this, we're moving on. Okay. That way of playing the game is getting, you got to play for 5 years. You got to play hard. So it's like, it's really getting to a point where there's so much shit to do that the completionist types are feeling the pressure, I guess, is probably what a lot of that feeling is. They're like, now I have to go do this and have to go do this, but the have to is self-imposed.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad you put that last part in. It is true that it is self-imposed. I used to find myself making that argument against, or I mean for MTX, not for it really, but just like, you know, a lot of the reason people didn't want to play RS3 is because of MTX, and I would just be like, well, just don't worry about it. But they couldn't. So to an extent, there is kind of like this. I don't know if I'm comparing apples and oranges here, but do you get what I mean? Like, I don't know when I go from like cope about it to when it's like tangible. Because I've tried to make that argument before, and I feel like I feel like I was misunderstanding the situation, you know? And there's a really like fine line. Like, when does it go from, you know, listening to the player to listening to a loud minority, you know? And it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I kind of think it's an eternal problem for Jagex that they have to. It's like half of their job is pitching the game to the current players, and that's just the way that it is. Mm-hmm. Just like I would tell, or did tell, all the RuneScape players very directly as the fake, you know, Jagex, voice of Jagex, that they need to just suck it up and play the game and enjoy it for what it is. The other half of that hard to swallow pill for Jagex is half of their job is convincing everyone they're not ruining the game, and it'll always be like that. So, yeah, I think I don't know. I think that's life. I think that's life. I think they just have to pitch it really good. I think they need Mod North in front of another shot of a slow moving scene of the game and him just being like, we care about the game. We're going to do this for you guys. We listen to your feedback, and here are the three things that we care about. Let's go make this game awesome. And then people go, you know what? I feel a little bit better about that.
So like your earlier point was more, we need reassured. They need to just keep assuring us they're going to make sure it goes off without a hitch and that they're going to do a good job. You think that would like go a long way?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't watch any of their like live streams. I don't watch any of their announcement stuff. I saw the Mod North video about MTX, but I don't really watch much of their stuff. It's kind of casual, and like I don't really get a lot of, I don't know. It's like whatever. I'll read the blog. Mm-hmm. But if they just like, dude, if I was running the ship, I would pull a Mod North every once in a while. Like every other month, I'd get on screen and just be like, hey guys, we're listening to you. We're talking to the people on Twitter. We're talking to the people on Reddit. Well, we're not listening to the people on Reddit, but we're talking to the people on Reddit. And we're listening to the broader player base, and we hear you, and we care about the game just as much as you, and we want to do right by you guys, and we want to do right by the game, and we want to keep making content. So here's our plan. And I don't know, just kind of clear the air. I think they need a little more clear the air chats with Mod, whoever they stick up there.
I actually agree. I think one of the comorbidities, that's not the right word, but you get what I'm saying. Like another thing affecting this sailing perspective is, some of the community feels like the CMs aren't being super active. You know,
it feels like they've pulled back, but who can blame them, dude? If you just go look at any post, it's like 400 assholes being like, fuck these guys, let's get them, woo.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think their recent strategy has been pull back, don't say anything, don't talk to anyone, ignore Twitter. And I don't think that's the right move, but I can't.
But you understand why they. Okay, I get you. Good.
Yeah, but their radio silence is freaking people out. It is.
I agree. Like one of the on RS, I'm not even gonna say his name. On RS3 though, like we're kind of combating. I'm in both the communities, so I keep up pretty fairly with all of it. But one of the CMs is very active, but he's been there a year, but didn't know what protect from ranged was. Last month, during a PvP fight, you know, etc. And I'm not trying to be an elitist, right? I'm not saying
that's not elitist, man. That's brother, log into the game.
So there's like this And with other games too, there's been like controversial stuff happening with the CM team, and I actually really agree that one thing that would calm people's anxiety is get in front of the camera, assure us you're listening. It's good customer service. You know, when you were speaking, I sat and thought, you know, like when you're at a restaurant, right? And anybody who's worked in management in a restaurant or any customer service or really anywhere, you've had a pissed off customer who you had to make happy. And I'm not saying everybody has to have like a handwritten note or reply on Twitter, but you're right. It feels good to have a person say, hey, we care about your buck. We're glad that you play our game. We're going to make a great update. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I hope there's more of that.
And every once in a while, the chef has to come out of the kitchen and say, "Get the fuck out of my restaurant."
Yes. Yes.
And that I mean, every once in a while, but most of the time, it's coming out and saying, "Hey, we hear your feedback. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the business."
Old
and
school,
doing our
unban.
best.
Old school, unban my boy Zeroff or unblock him. Unblock Zeroff on Twitter. Y'all blocked him. That's been another one of the like things. Like they've blocked some people who really hasn't said anything crazy. I think a lot of that was like Hootie though. To be fair, he was kind of crazy. I don't know how much you kept up with that situation, but I think that started the negative feedback loop.
I actually I don't know almost anything about that. I was off Twitter for almost a year.
Smart man.
Where I just decided not to. As a rule, it was for Lent one year. I don't even like.
Hell yeah. Oh, that was kind of dumb for me to make a positive comment, say hell yeah about you being on Lent. Anyway, go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
I just was like, no, hell yeah, I was on Lent. Fuck yeah, that's dope.
Fuck Satan. He's got the right spirit. Go ahead.
Decided that I was gonna like just not, I was like, hey, if I need to make a post for YouTube or whatever, I will. But I was not gonna scroll because I was just feeling like this cloud in my mind of other people's thoughts that I didn't care about, that I was just reading and scrolling. And it was taking up all this like mental bandwidth that I didn't care about. And so anyways, I was like, I'm not gonna look at Twitter for, how long is 40 days? 40 days. And it was awesome. And I just kept that ball rolling. And so I got off Twitter for like a year because it made me happier and it cleared my mind. And
he said, I'm back now though. No, I'm playing. Sometimes you need that. Depends what stage of your life you're in, man.
I allow myself to, I just try to be intentional with my time on Twitter. Mm-hmm. I'll put it that way. That was the lesson learned there was I just try to be intentional. And if I'm gonna, I try not to brain off scroll.
No.
And I try to guard my thoughts and my intentions and my actions beforehand so that when I open up Twitter, I'm going to engage with it in a
meaningful way.
That
makes sense, man. Yep. Like if it's for business, you know, you're using it for your channel, you're using it for to promote something. Yeah.
Just be to fuck around and like make some jokes and like argue a little bit.
Interaction, or engagement.
Yeah. But it even might be just for the fun of it. But I have to make up my mind ahead of time to be like, I'm going to go and I'm going to, maybe we'll get in a little debate here, but it's going to be for the fun of it and for the
sport of it. The sparring you were talking about.
And so I just try to be intentional about that kind of thing. So all that to say, I missed the whole, I remember I caught kind of the tail end of like, people were mad at Hootie for I'm not exactly sure what, and there were a couple other like Zerov and Sani and a couple other guys tertiarily involved who were like, we hate Hootie now, and I don't know why. And
he was saying the N-word, like the hard R, and then like he was blocking people on the official account, and that was, I'm just explaining to you the general gist. So
they felt he was being hypocritical.
Yes, especially with his past of making very, very violent and gruesome sexual jokes. And I'm not being a Karen or hall monitor. We totally go off, Queen. But it's also when you're holding people to a way stricter standard than anything Sani and Zarov were saying. On, you know, like how you made the Nazi joke earlier. if Sonny and Zarov said something like that, they would be fucking blacklisted by these people. So that was more, why are you blocking us on the official account? Why are you doing this and that? And then two, there were this was all during the election, right? And just, this is also for the viewer too, who might be interested in the whole topic. But there were some J-mods on streams literally going out of their way to say that this MAGA rally in game was bigots, and it's just like, man, you can think that, and I'm not tone policing or telling people what to think. You can think whatever you want, but like at your job, you kind of need to maybe not weigh in an opinion like that and call 60% of America or 56, whatever the fucking, a bigot. And it just, that kind of started it all, and it was just like a general canceling of those people, when really, the worst things they said were jokes, ironic jokes that taken out of context. But yeah, that was the whole gist. That's why they didn't like Hootie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you brought up Mod North earlier. I think in regards to both the MTX and the canceling of Pride Month, the canceling of the event, but we never touched on that.
Oh, true.
But I think I got distracted by like MTX and sailing or whatever. But
it's good conversation. It flows where it goes.
Yeah, I actually don't know how I feel about Pride events being in RuneScape. It feels weird if Jagex does it.
Yeah.
And like, I hope the J-mods run a Pride parade next year, and I hope clans do, and I hope people are always gathering and doing stuff like that for whatever their thing is. It did feel weird that the game was like, here's an in-game, very political, and I know everyone. It's so funny because then everybody
not political.
Everybody, but the only people saying that are on the left because they want to hide their hand, and it's like, we know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That would be like if it was like, we're gonna have a Bible study parade, and you're like, wait, that feels weird, and you're like, it's not weird, it's freedom of speech, and you're like, but Jagex made an in-game Bible, and why that one? And it's like, they don't need to do that.
Exactly right.
It did feel a bit weird coming from the game creators, and I'm not even saying it. I never minded it being there, but I get people's point where they're like, why is this in my game? And yes, it's political.
Yes.
And obviously the all the mods are extremely, from an American perspective, left-leaning.
Yes.
And make it very public, and that's fine. I have no problems with that. But it's just the like pretend kind of, oh no, we're not saying anything about anything. It's like, okay, but when he cancels the event, you say it's political.
Yeah.
So how can you say it's not political, and then when he cancels the event, you go, this is political conservatism? You're like, but it wasn't. So
they're so close.
I don't like the dishonesty around it.
Yeah.
And again, I'll end this little thought by saying, I hope there's a Pride parade next year. I hope the J-mods are in it. I hope most of my clan is in it. And I hope they have a really good time. I just...
Putting development budget into it is not the play. Yeah.
Well, and I don't even care about the, like, some people were making that point. And for me, it's more of it didn't feel right, for the same reason it wouldn't feel right for them to put other political or religious or like really, I don't know, like modern things in the game. And then here's my hot take that's going to get me in trouble for today because I've just thought about this. Give me the fucking male and female body types back. Are you kidding me? That's one thing I never got to go off about. I'm so pissed about that. Dude, if I was trans and I was transitioning to be a woman, I wouldn't want fucking body type B. What is that shit?
I would want to
be a hot,
woman.
sexy anime girl, woman, female. That's what I want to be. So, like... What the fuck?
Even a lot of dudes, dude. Even a lot of dudes would look at Stellar Blade and how well that did. People like looking at an attractive female on the screen. you know?
Dude, and my whole point is like, I loved this joke in my latest video. This is the joke that should have gotten attention and didn't. I made, and it was just a throwaway during a segment of me smithing. I was like, something, and the sweat was rolling down my hot, sexy body type B. And I thought that was hilarious because
That was funny. Yeah.
Obviously it's look at my, first of all, it's funny because it's a RuneScape character and it looks stupid.
Yes.
It's like Tomb Raider triangle tits stupid, where you're like, it's not sexy.
I swear
it's
I'm
hilarious.
stealing that. I'm calling the next fat guy who talks shit to me, I'm calling him triangle tits. But
yeah, dude.
Bro, you got Tomb Raider tits.
Yeah, dude.
But no, like I when I did that Wokescape video, I put a joke in there of a guy holding a baby, and he's like, "Ah, yes, type B." Like it's preposterous, man.
Dude, that's funny, dude.
And it doesn't make you a bigot or anyone a bigot for thinking so. I mean, the biology, they always talked about trust the science during COVID, but not now, you know, when it comes to biology. It's silly. Sexual dimorphism, I think that's the term for it, is very prevalent in most animals. I mean, bro, look at chickens. We were talking about my chicken farm earlier. Like, you can definitely tell a rooster from a hen. They're just functions we both serve, and that's good.
Well, and yeah, so here's okay. To get like, this is going to take a little bit of explaining because I actually love this this topic, and I see, you know, the whole man versus woman, male versus female, blah blah blah, whatever, genders, it's all a spectrum, whatever. A lot of the people's confusion about it comes from the fact that they will have this dichotomy exists on like 3 different fundamental levels, but people keep getting the levels crossed. And so there's at the very bottom, there is male and female, scientific, it's in the body. It's, of course, there's going to be exceptions to all of these,
but chromosomes.
Yeah, it's chromosomes, you know. My wife knows someone who was born a true hermaphrodite. So like, even in nature, there's true exceptions.
Happens with animals here and there.
But we call them an exception because you're like, okay, picture a dog. Mm-hmm. How many legs does that dog have?
4.
Yeah, not a trick question. And then someone will be like, but there's some dogs with 3 legs. And you're like, shut the fuck up. It's a dog. It has 4 legs. Of course there's dogs with 3 legs. But in order to use the word dog, we've made a category. Mm-hmm. And so we're talking about something. So, okay, at the bottom level, male and female. The next one is like social. It's man and woman. These are roles that we play. And that this is where people say they're things like, these are social constructs, which is true. They are social constructs, but they're social constructs for a good reason.
The same way a beehive is a social construct, but it has a function.
It's like, there's a reason. Yes. So, and then the third level and the most interesting one, and this one's actually maybe going to be part of the discussion sooner rather than later, and I hope so, God, is masculine and feminine. Mm-hmm. This is like spiritual, universal. This is archetypal. It's Mother Nature, Father Time.
You said you like Mod Shogun. Have you read The Wheel of Time?
Yeah, I have read the first 6. I started when I was like 8.
So Saiden and Saidar. This is amazing.
Yeah,
bro.
Yin and Yang. It's
male
the whole,
and feminine. It's perfect.
Yeah. So at the very top, it's masculine and feminine, and that's the fun discussion. So I think this is true, but at the end of LGBTQT plus, they added 2. Is it 2?
2 spirit.
2. Whatever it is.
2A, yeah, I don't know.
2S, and it means 2 spirit. Yes, and the idea being with someone who embodies both masculine and feminine. And that's just so silly.
Yeah.
It's so silly but I'm glad they're finally talking about it, because my whole point in bringing all this up is there are masculine things and there are feminine things. And you, Pride Slayer, you can embody something feminine. Sure. And it could be the right thing to do in the moment. Or you can embody something masculine. It can be the right thing to do in a moment. There's no judgment there. And good men and good women, which now we're talking at the social role. These are the this is layer 2, do both masculine and feminine things, and it's fine. And a healthy man or a woman does both of those things. Now, the part that people don't like to admit is that the social level, the social level, man and woman, is almost directly tied to, on a one-to-one basis, the bottom level, male and female.
Yes.
It's a bimodal distribution grouped around two very strong, center axes of male and female. And then the problem that people have with is the farther you move up from level 3 to 2 to 1, the more the wires can all cross, and you can be at the very bottom. Yes, you can be.
You might be
at the very bottom,
on male, but you might reach into the feminine, or you might.
Yes, you might reach across over to woman and have some. I do the dishes in my house because my wife really doesn't like doing dishes, but she's a fantastic cook. She's a fantastic cook. And so I was like, babe, if you keep cooking all this good food, I will happily scrub the dishes. I don't care. I work from home. It's easy for me to just go over there and do it. That's typically a role that the woman plays, but I do it, and that's fine. And you can cross all the way over to me being emotionally vulnerable on a day and talking about my feelings, and that's a feminine thing to do, but sometimes it's a mature thing to do for a man and for a male. And so a lot of the times when people are talking about all of this left versus right, male, female, masculine, feminine, whatever, they will start having a discussion and they will compare across the levels and be making these like logical mistakes when they're saying, they will say male and compare male to feminine. And I'm like, male is not the dichotomy of feminine. Male and female, it's feminine and masculine. And so it's the confusion of those types across categories that muddies the water and makes it hard for people to have these conversations.
You choose your class at birth, if you will, or you don't choose, but you get what I'm saying. Like in video game terms, it's like, you have a class that you're born into, which would be, your gender, whether you're male or female. And then as you go, your skill tree is very similar to what you're saying.
Yeah, your skill tree branches out.
Yeah, you might have to function and do this thing here, even though that's more on the masculine side in order in the moment. That's a good way to look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like, that's a really good point, because there's a lot of people who believe that they were born in the wrong body. I don't believe that. I'm not going to, if someone believes that, I don't think badly of them.
Yeah.
I just say that I would disagree. I don't think people are born in the wrong body. I think you're born in your body. And a lot of people, you don't get to pick your class at birth. It would be like being born a high elf and being like, I don't want to be a fucking high elf. I feel like an orc. Yep. All right, well then you get to be a high elf doing orc shit, and it's fucking cool. And maybe you're gonna. Yeah, maybe you're going to get judged by the orcs because you're not orc enough, and maybe you're going to get judged by the high elves because you're doing orc shit. But then you get to be a cool character as opposed to just an orc. I don't know.
I think being unique makes people strong. Like we don't even have to somebody can be a woman and be more masculine presenting. They're still a woman. For sure. And, there's nothing wrong with them for being that way either. Like I think that's where it's gotten just overplayed,
Right. And Brock Lesnar's daughter just broke NCAA records for the shot put. She could beat the fuck out of me. She's an animal. Yep. She looks just like her father and is a beast.
Yeah.
And it's very masculine, and that's just it. That is what it is. Judging by the fact that she seems proud of herself and is a committed athlete and is kicking ass, I don't think it would bother her. I think she probably had to make peace with the fact that she's way more masculine than
She played to her strengths. She
Literally
didn't shy away from it because
literally pick any other girl in the world. She's probably more masculine than them.
Yeah.
And that's probably hard for her to reconcile. But like the best thing that she can do is probably reconcile that and just be like, it is what it is. I don't think Brock Lesnar's daughter was born in the wrong body.
Agreed.
I think
Yeah, and it's
she just is not normal and has to be okay with that.
no, for sure. And I mean, of course, on the internet, anytime there's a female, the comment section is full of give me some Viking offspring, and I'm just like, my God,
Right.
fucking gooners. But no, like I think that you're exactly right, man. And in life, you are dealt the hands you're dealt, and I think it's best to play to your strengths. You know, shine.
Dude, if I could have been 6'3", I would have picked it. Which is like, why not? Why not?
I don't know. I can tell you why. I'm 6'3", and when you don't want somebody to notice you, like,
Yeah, fair enough. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm not saying
can't
there's
hide.
not downsides.
no, I get what you mean though. Like 100% for sure. You play with the strengths you have, and I don't know. I kind of like the fact that not everybody's the same. I feel like we've kind of turned everybody into like homogenous slop of personality, and you know, it's also like, I feel like real self-love isn't convincing yourself that you should be different. And it's such a big misconception. I feel like, you know, it's become more theatrical than it is like what people really feel about themselves.
Yeah, here's something that I just thought about that. It's like, you used to come online to like have this other persona and have this other personality and be this other person, and that was like half of the fun. Is you could start, if you had a friend group at school, you could start over with a friend group online. You could be whatever you wanted to be. And I know there's a lot of people, for example, again in my Discord community, that go by different names online and like wanted the like RuneScape space as a way to like start over and be someone else.
Because you don't have all the baggage too. No, that makes sense.
Right. And so there is a strange insistence on affirming your real life identity in the game as opposed to affirming your online persona that you went, like, I don't know, like I show up to be accepted as 9rain, which is not Aaron, it's internet me. And I like, we are in an age of the internet, and I'm not judging this phenomenon, I'm just saying it is what it is. We're in a part of the lifespan of the internet where people are now like, no, this is who I am in real life, and they're making a big insistence of it online, which fair enough. I don't know. It's just like, I always wanted to.
There's no real life though to complete that, and I think that kind of circles back into why that becomes so important to them. They've not ever developed a real life. You know, not even throwing a dig. You know, you and I are older than a lot of these people and had to actually like go through school, and you know, even though we had RuneScape growing up, it wasn't something that I mean, you had that, like you said, that online identity, but you still have your real identity too. You know, you have people who it would be weird as fuck if they called you 9rain, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like that makes total sense. But, you know, it's not your insistence. Like it's not everything you build value off of. You know, you have a personality. It's not some performative fucking thing that you do to feel like, how did it even get this way, man? What do you think it was? Is it just the internet? COVID? Like how did we get to this point?
I mean, because I don't have an answer, I might actually cop out with COVID, because fuck, like we don't have any, half this shit that's going on right now is probably the fault of that weird experiment, and then we'll be riding we keep thinking to ourselves like, what is the past going to look like on what is the future going to look back on at this period in life? I'm like, dude, I think 2019 to 2029, they're just going to be like, this is still just COVID fallout. Everything that happened we now know it was all just, we locked everyone in their rooms for 2 years and we lied to them. And now they're mad for 8 more years. And like, that's it. It's like, what stuff's expensive now? You're going to blame fucking whoever's in charge? Nope. COVID. That was it.
I think it probably was a big catalyst, you know, because there was, you know, toddlers, a generation of toddlers who are now, you know, 10 or so, 11, 12, who basically had their early childhood inside. You know, thankfully I was in a state where we were only on lockdown for a few months. I'm in one of the redneck
Texas wasn't
states.
too bad either.
Yeah, but
it was still bad, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, your all's demographic completely changed based on that, because so many people were escaping California to come to Texas. At least Joe Rogan did, as an example. So it's like that. It truly did change America. I kind of asked earlier about it, but do you think Old School is becoming RuneScape 3? Like directly?
No.
Do you think it's turning into
Nah. Ain't nothing even close to the same. Well, I kind of hinted at there were a couple problems I had with RuneScape 3 when I tried playing it. My biggest gripe, full stop, was the UI. I spent the first 3 hours, as someone who is a veteran of old school RuneScape, trying everything I could to get the UI in a way that it made sense to me and was usable. And oh my God, it was terrible. And then for the whole rest
this year, they added a shareable UI. Sorry, just to let you know, they finally updated it to where you can copy and paste from another person, but it took way too long. So I agree. That's cheeks.
All of it's unintuitive. It's so cumbersome. There's pop-ups and tabs within tabs within tabs, and settings aren't where they should be. And again, it's just unintuitive. So that was a huge hurdle, and I kept fighting with it for the whole time I played. I would be like, I don't like this, and I would change it. I'd be like, I don't like this still, and I would change it. And that's just the main big storm cloud over my head with RS3. It wasn't the game itself. I liked the game, and obviously I liked the world, and the graphics were fine. It didn't look like Old School, but it looked like its own thing, and whatever. And the UI was killing me the whole time.
I still have trouble finding shit sometimes. I quit for about 7 months, but I started back last week after I got unbanned off Twitch, and dude, it took me forever to find combat achievements, and it shouldn't be like that, you know?
Yeah.
That time you spent could have been better spent actually playing the game.
Yeah, and so to actually answer your question though, is Old School becoming RS3? It's not even close. I don't even know what that means. I think when people say that, they mean something like Jagex is abandoning us again, and but it's like, no, they're not. And
I think it's like kind of a force feeding. I think you're right. I think there's also some more to it. I think there's a feeling that people, or at least maybe you could even call it a PTSD from EOC.
Yeah. You know, I mean, people have not forgotten, and so from the conversations I've had with the J mods, they have conversations all the time about, and the language they use is about earning the trust of the players, and they actually do know and feel that they disappointed everybody, and that they do have to basically pay penance and re-earn the trust of the player base, and that they've been trying to do that for 7, 8, however many years now, and will probably have to continue to do that.
It's been 12 years since EOC.
Well, how many years since the re-release of?
Since Old School came out, it would have been 2013, so 12 years.
Holy shit! I was way off.
We're getting old, bro. We're getting
all right. So
old.
they've been doing that for 12 fucking years.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that Jagex is well aware of, and that they do say that is they're like, hey, we know we have to keep earning the trust of the players and keep making sure that they know, and I mean, and they do. Because we play the weirdest game that ever existed, where they totally
all the
killed
WoW
it, and then
players
everybody left,
down.
and then we'll see how long that lasts. It's a different game. It's not an MMO. They think it's an MMO. I think it's a game if they can learn to enjoy for its own sake, they're going to get hooked.
What do you mean by that? Like, just because I'm actually curious. What do you mean it's not an MMO?
Like if you expect, to me, the MMO is World of Warcraft.
Absolutely.
Obviously. But RuneScape is a weird
Sandbox type.
point and click adventure game, like just post text-based adventure, where you have examine texts. Like it used to be like those old school adventure games. You would right click all the items in your inventory and examine them, so you knew which one of them was the key that you needed to put in the proverbial keyhole to get to the next stage. You would examine a magnet, and it would say that it had some weird thing, and then you would use the magnet on the thing, and then it would do we do that in our quests. They're old school adventure games where you use the magnet, you attach it to a rat, but you use the cheese or whatever the fuck you do to get the witch's house to get the ball. Like those are old school adventure game puzzles, and we live in a basically text-based old school adventure game. It's in a dark medieval fantasy. I mean, all of your oldest, when people say something doesn't feel RuneScape-y, a lot of the time it's the design, because they kind of forget that old school RuneScape is a dark medieval fantasy.
Yes, it is.
Point and click adventure game where all of the levels they built a town, and there were castles, and then there were sewers underneath with zombies and skeletons and black dragons and blood on the walls.
That's one of my gripes with RS3 is that theme you're talking about right there.
That's what people mean a lot when they talk about RS3s. They look at the Grand Exchange and they're like, what the fuck is this fairyland?
Yes.
This is not a dark medieval point and click adventure game.
Shogun and I talked about this once, and he tried to go to bat to say, well, but RuneScape is a lighthearted game. Like, bro, the best stuff on RuneScape 3 is the dark fantasy aspects of it.
Right. Right. And the lighthearted stuff was funny because it like Romeo and Juliet stuck out and made you laugh because it was fucking like, what? Why is this on my way to go do the thing? I passed a torture rack with a skeleton
or
like
barbarian
strung up
stronghold in it. Or
this is dark medieval shit. Right. The funny part about the game and the way it feels lighthearted is because it looks so stupid.
Yes.
But like the theme, when taken honestly, is it's dark and serious.
It's Monty Python the game.
Yes, that's a good example. It's a good example. The Black Knight gets his fucking legs chopped off and bleeds out, and well, I don't know if he dies or not, but like that's dark as hell.
Yes.
There's the peasant in the mud, like, oh, the fucking monarchy is a something institution, blah blah. I'm being repressed. That whole like skit is funny because it's against the backdrop of the like dark, dirty medieval world.
Just like the Ardoin quest series. How do you say that? Ardoin.
Ardoin.
Okay. The Ardoin quest series with the plague is just like that, you know?
It's the like whole regicide quest line. Yep.
Yes. It's like a parody of real life things. Kind of funny. I got kicked from a Discord during COVID because I said, oh, look, this is the same thing that's happening.
Dude, dude. That was a hilarious quest line to play through while COVID was going on. You're like, oh my God, they're lying about the disease and it's a fucking... Yeah, that was funny and ironic as hell. It was like, dude, they're screaming it in old school RuneScape and nobody can see it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to ask you before we wrapped up today, like, what's some of your favorite music? And I know it's random, but I like to ask almost everybody that if I got time, because I really feel like it says a lot about a person. So yeah, what's your favorite music?
Yeah. Okay, so I think the core, if I had to like pick something that is at the center of what I like, the band Tesseract. Are you familiar with them?
No. What kind of music is
they're like progressive metal, real genty, if you know what that means.
Progressive, like they listen to Hassan Piker?
Fortunately, no.
I'm messing. Tell me a song. Yeah. I'll actually I'll save it.
Okay, I will send you. Let me. What would I say is if I had to give you one Tesseract song to listen to?
Nocturne.
Shit, that's
the first one that came.
Nocturne's pretty damn good.
Okay, I'll listen to a few.
That's some of their older stuff. I would listen to Nocturne, and then I would listen to something from Polaris, probably. Cages into 7 names. Treat that as one song. It's the last 2 on the album.
Here we go. I'll listen to the whole album.
I mean, hell, they write albums. They don't write songs. So it is worth listening to an album front to back.
Oh, so they're that progressive. It's like,
dude, they're fucking incredible musicians. Okay, and so like they were my like gateway into progressive metal, that whole thing. But a lot of the bands I've been listening to recently, I listen to a lot of Anoop Sastry. He's a drummer that does. He's a drummer primarily, but he writes and produces like full pieces. Let's see, what else have I been listening to?
Do you listen to what's the name of this band? My friend recommended it. Spirit Box.
Oh, dude. Fucking what's her name? Dude. Incredible. What's the dude? There's one song. I have
Soft Spine on my playlist, but that was the only.
Okay,
like,
Soft Spine is
metal.
super good.
Okay.
And then she's got another one. Fuck. I'm gonna look this up really quick.
Yeah. But it was funny because as soon as you started saying that, I didn't recognize that band name. But the more you kept talking, I was like, that sounds like the band that my friend Twiz recommended, and I actually really like
Rule of Nines. Okay, there's a Rule of Nine. Okay, I'm sending this to you right now. Rule of Nines, Spirit Box. I'm just gonna send you this video. It's her live performance. And there it is on Discord. Holy shit. Dude, it's so fun to just watch her do this. Incredible band.
I didn't even realize that was a female.
Yeah.
What? Damn,
dude,
bro.
Okay. Yes. She fucking rips.
Not to sound like a misogynist, but I just didn't even realize.
She sounds nasty. It's so cool.
Yeah, like not even like super masculine at all. That's not even what I meant. But like she's good. Like, cause the 2 or 3 songs I've listened to have been awesome. Hell fucking yeah.
I like, let's see, Era, Periphery, Pliny, Animals as Leaders, fucking, I don't know. Tesseract is a good starting spot. Caligula's Horse, Intervals, love Intervals. Nick Johnston, Night Verses. And do you know what's funny about my music? I know that most people listening are not gonna, they're gonna be like, I've never heard of any of these artists.
That's good though.
But if you have, you fucking love them because they're so good. And it's this like prog metal world of all these really talented, incredible artists that are just killing it. But it's too heavy for most people.
It all makes me think of System of a Down because they were all like, you know, educated people who ended up making what at the time was incredibly progressive music. You know,
dude, Animals as Leaders and Tesseract, they're all like Juilliard musicians.
Yeah.
They could, like, with doctoral theses. So, yes, they're like...
Cliff Burton from Metallica had a degree in music theory and stuff. I think that, like, it's... I don't know. The more you can understand about music, I find that the more people, like, push the boundary. Because it's like, you know, I hate to be like a... what is it? Plain bitch. But it's like, you know, I listen to all, like, my normal metal and stuff, but... You know, when you go and listen.
So who do I like? Who do you like? Yeah.
Slayer, Deathclock.
Okay. Cool.
If we go OG like Metallica and shit like that, but also, you know, I love Limp Bizkit. I'll still listen to Korn, but probably my favorite bands would be like Alice in Chains, Seether. Even though people go, oh, that's just bullshit. Some of their songs that people haven't heard are really good, and I think their videos are good. But yeah, as far as real heavy stuff, I guess like Deathclock, Amon Amarth, I fucking love Amon Amarth.
Dude, Amon Amarth, holy shit. Yeah. I was a big fan in like college. I totally forgot about Amon Amarth.
I walked out when I won this white belt to Destroyer of the Universe, and it's just
cool.
Like, yeah, bro, like that shit gets you ready to go into battle, man.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool.
It's good running music.
Sometimes too good though. Do you ever listen to? I listen to a lot of like. Do you know Danheim? Or
not off the top of my head.
Wardruna?
Mm-mm.
Bro, it's like straight up Viking music. I love it.
I love
so
all that.
Fucking good.
Anything I've ever heard, or like Norwegian death metal. Just I like pretty much all that. Send me something.
Okay, well, Wardruna with a W. I sent you the name. Look them up. I'm gonna see them in concert in September. I think it's in San Antonio.
Those metal bands are all so good live too. Like, I mean,
Yeah, well, so they're not metal. This is more like traditional Viking. It's not like a monomarth where they took that and then made it metal.
oh, so like woodwind instruments and like actual.
Yeah, like
Okay.
heavy drums and shit, like chanting.
More like a
That's
shanty.
Very heavy, dark, slow shanty.
Okay.
But I see where you're going with that. More traditional
Yeah,
instruments and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Shanty might have been a bad. I'm busting out sea shanty too right now, but yeah.
Here's another, and then here's a link to a band named Danheim. Don't click it in the Discord, by the way, because that Spotify is 10 times louder than it needs to be.
Okay.
If you click play through Discord, it fucking blasts you. So, I'm a drummer. I love music.
I was actually about to ask if you played any instruments.
Yeah, huge part of my life. So
How long you played for?
when I was 11, when I turned 11, my mother and father bought me a drum set, and they bought my twin brother a guitar, and then they got us lessons. And so I've been drumming. I started out on drum set, and I marched drumline in high school, and then but primarily a drum set player. And I mean, right behind me, well, behind the RuneScape login screen, is my electric kit, and so I used to play every single day up until probably 2 years ago. But I love it. It's probably the thing that I'm best at in life.
When are you gonna do beating the Inferno with your electric drum kit?
I have done some RuneScape drumming crossovers. I've done stuff for either ad integrations, or I've just drummed over different RuneScape tracks, and they're pretty far deep in Twitter now at this point. In fact, after this, I'm gonna retweet one. I'm just gonna go.
I'm glad I'm bringing up those passions, and I actually hope you pick it up and keep playing, man. It's like it's easy to keep. Oh, tomorrow I'll jam for a little bit, but
dude, well, I actually today I was scrubbing through. I'm working on a huge, like, I don't know how long it'll be. 2 hours, huge penis, 2 hour long penis. Movie, my Corrupted Gauntlet video that I've been teasing for like 2.5 years.
Oh, let's go, dude! Hell yeah!
I'm
same style as Dragon Park.
It'll be closer to my leagues.
Okay.
My latest leagues video that was 1 hour and 45, and the reason being, maybe as a viewer, people just watch and go, "Oh, it's a 9-minute video. It feels the same." But they're written and scripted and paced completely different and produced in a very different style, and it's intentional because I got to get through so much stuff, but I still want to. It's like I have to get through so much, but I still want to have those moments of honesty where there's the real footage playing of me with the audience and the game. And so anyways,
like
all that to say,
unscripted, like raw, like reaction, real reaction.
Yeah. So if you go and watch the leagues video with a critical eye, a lot of what I'm doing is trying to tell you a story and then breaking from that story to go be with Aaron, the RuneScape player, in his office chilling during the day, and like give you the, hey, I'm just a normal RuneScape player experience alongside the grand adventure. And so anyways, with the CG video, I've been going through all these clips, and like thousands and thousands and thousands of files over 3 years, and trying to pull this whole story together. But while doing so, I'm going through old footage, and it's really fun because I keep finding all these little gems that I'm like, oh my God, I remember that. Or like, and stumbled across a couple of videos of me drumming today for like ad bits that I used for, well, whatever. And so then I actually just went down this whole rabbit hole of watching my old drum videos today. It was like, damn, I got to do more of that. So
maybe it's God telling you, bro, like, because it keeps coming up. He wants you to get back into drumming for some reason.
There is a video that I've been meaning to make, but I'm not allowing myself to yet until the CG video's out. Where I'm going to try and get, I'm going to find some skill I can beat, unless they. I don't even want to say it out loud because there's something that might get patched out of the game. a training method that you can fix your screen in a certain way and fix your mouse in a certain way, and then just spam click, and you can train a skill that shouldn't be trained this way. And I want to do that with my drum set. And so there's a video to be made where I get 99 in a skill by playing the drums.
That would be fucking cool, man.
And so I've been cooking on that for ages, but I have to say no to videos all the time for the sake of I'm trying to wrap up this series and not blue ball everybody for another 2 years.
Have you seen, just because it's similar, it might be an inspiration. It's not that long of a video, but there's a RuneScape 3 creator, Evil Lucario, who did a video beating 4K Telos, which is like one of the hardest solo bosses, with a Guitar Hero controller. And so I don't know if you've ever seen that. Yeah, it's one of RS3 doesn't have very viral stuff, but that's one of the like legendary videos that
I think I've heard of Evil Lucario.
He's played Oldschool. He's incredible. He's like,
I want to say I think I know who that, not know who that is, but I think I have seen some of his videos.
He's kind of like our like Rice Cup level dude who's just like super good, you know, and just can like perform feats, but also, you know, makes videos and stuff on it and just is, yeah, chill. Lucario's cool. Yeah, I like Lucario. He's good. And this wasn't one I even planned on asking, but since we kind of went down the rabbit hole, like, what are your goals for content creation, man? Like, you seem like a person, from what I'm judging, like, let me judge what your answer probably is. You're a madman with this, like, inner art and this story that you're trying to tell. And it's like, it's never something in order to appease the crowd. It's a genuine story to yourself. And the reason I say this is I watched one of your old videos, the Dragon Park. It was super funny. You had the intro. And it reminded me a lot of why I make videos. And I'm small, and I do it for the love. So anyway, I feel like you do it for the love. But yeah, why do you make content, and what are your goals?
You know, to that point, whenever someone asks me or brings up like, hey, I was thinking about maybe doing content creation, the first thing I tell them is you must love what you're doing. And maybe I would say that to anybody about whatever thing they want to do, is I am always making my videos for me. Mm-hmm. It has always been that way from the very beginning. I did it as a hobby. I started a YouTube channel in college, before this one. And I remember the first video that I made. I didn't sleep that night after I uploaded my first video because I was so excited about the second one. I literally stayed, it's the only time it's ever happened in my life, about anything. I stayed up all night staring at my ceiling, just thinking like, oh my God, in the next one, I'm going to do this and this and this. And oh, I could do this with the series and I could take it this way. And here's some edits I want to do. And I want to learn this program. And I just stayed up all night thinking about it. And when I would go to class, I was just thinking about YouTube.
The next video.
Man. And it was like, and I put it down for a long time because school got harder and then I got some big boy jobs for a little while and then
takes a lot of mental bandwidth.
Yeah, well, and I started doing it again as a hobby for me. Mm-hmm. I started making League of Legends because I was playing League at the time, and I started making some League of Legends videos no, absolutely. Not even going to defend that. And not the good kind of nerd, like the sad kind of nerd.
Too. We're good. I'm the sad kind of
nerd. And so like I started doing that, and I didn't post them anywhere. I would send them to my buddies, or I'd do it for me and send them to my brother. Or I'd go play a game with some friends, and it would be a hilarious game with all these cool moments, and I would just edit it up and show it to them.
Do you remember your first hit video?
On my old channel, yes. I did a video about playing AD carry Twisted Fate, which this was, God, over a decade ago. And to those people who play League, they'll know what that means. Yeah, 80 carry Twisted Fate. But that one got 60,000 views.
Damn.
And I was very small at the time, like 1,000 subs, and
that's crazy. Nice.
And that one like really popped off. Yeah, it was awesome. And before then I was doing like a bunch of random content, and then a couple of my League videos popped off, and so that channel turned into a League of Legends channel. But not to derail from your original, my whole point in saying all of this is every single video I make for me, I have a thing that I want to do, and I'm in the position partially because I've been doing this for a long time and I'm good at it, and partially because I pay attention. I know that if I do a good job and I am happy with the thing, it will do well enough. Mm-hmm. Now I have to, the second half of that equation, with this being a job and this being YouTube, which is a platform with expectations and it's the real world, is I have to take my thing and I have to marry it with, it's a YouTube video, and I have to pitch it and format it in a way that the audience understands and that they are getting what they're wanting. Mm-hmm. And so you have to take both of those things into consideration. But at the very core, and I'm so happy you brought up the Dragon Park videos, because that was before I learned the lesson. That was just for me. That was for nobody. I didn't market it. I named it fucking Dragon Park 2. What does that tell you?
It's
Nothing.
not going to get
that's
any
a
algorithm.
Movie.
Yeah,
that's a movie title. That is not clickable, and nothing in that at all means anything to anybody except for me. And if you watch the video, you go, "Ha, this is clever. I like it." And so, yes,
it's
that
campy,
is the
bro.
it's so campy. It's so campy, and that has been the heart of everything that I've done with the channel.
That's awesome.
The starting point has always been, this is for me. I want to do my thing. I'm making the Corrupted Gauntlet video because I'm excited about that story. I will fit it into the narrative, and it's going to make sense, and it's going to be very Runescape, and people are going to like it. But at the end of the day, like I did with the Gerardor video and the League's movie, it's like I'm always trying to make me happy. And if I am proud of my thing, it hasn't let me down yet.
Do you have any like OG creators who inspired you?
Oh my God, too many to count. And it changes because who I was watching 10 years ago is very different than who I'm watching today. But
sure, yeah.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Jimmy. Jimmy was.
I was thinking that, but yeah.
I watched a lot of Jimmy when he had 5K subs. Mm-hmm. I watched a lot of Tro. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Really small creator, and he hasn't done it for years. He had an Ultimate Iron Man series, but it was so. And he's the guy that Jimmy and I had a podcast called Bank Standin', and Tro was our editor for that podcast, and he made little cameos every once in a while, and sometimes we'd talk about him. He was kind of our off-camera guy. But Tro had a UIM series that just had so much heart, and you could I just felt so honest. I loved it.
I think
Mudkip,
Bodhi, man, yeah, I like Bodhi.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on all day about old school Runescape creators that have inspired me, but there's also a ton of. Slimesicle was a huge, I don't know if you've heard of him. He was a huge inspiration for me. I kind of changed how I did things in my Iron Man series. There was a seed box video that I made that people who have seen the whole series will know what I'm talking about. I started catching my stride, and a lot of that was me watching Slimesicle and just being like, man, he has this energy and this presence with his jokes that I want to emulate. General Sam is a content creator that he got big off of Skyrim and Oblivion, and then started doing Tarkov and a whole bunch of stuff in between.
Variety, I can see variety being appealing. Really, to grow, I would say most people should do variety at the end of the day. But also, I kind of feel like when you stick to one demographic, I don't know, it's probably smarter to do that. But anyway, so that was just random tangent.
Well,
I like playing different shit too.
Most variety people got big on one thing.
Right. It's hard to be a RuneScape 3 creator, for an example, though, and get 1 million subscribers, so it's
oh, absolutely.
But you play other stuff, Although Josh Strife Hayes got 1 million views off of RS3 video. Sorry, my bad. Right,
but he contextualized it different, in a very clever way.
Exactly.
And his algorithm was already set up to get him in the right spot because of the niche that he filled. But he has a very specific Like he seems like variety, but he's not. He's a variety of games with a very straightforward and singular like
He's genius
task for each video.
when it comes to packaging and shipping reviews of games. Like he does a really good job of it.
Right, but the reason that people know his stuff and why he can do it is you know what you're going to get with Josh Strife Hayes, because he's doing the same video every time, but the game changes, but the video is the same.
Yeah.
And so that's one way you can remain focused, whereas someone might be doing the same game and that makes them focused, but their content around that game is very diverse.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I would say everybody who is killing it on YouTube, sure, there's going to be exceptions, but they had a thing, whether it was the game that helped be part of that thing, or whether it was their formula for, I'm going to make this video with the same title and the same format, and that became their package. Whatever it was, they had a thing because the internet had to go, oh, I want this thing again. And then you get the thing again. And they go, well, I want it again. And then they get the thing again. It's like Animal Planet. You're like, dude, every once in a while, you're like, I just want to watch the animal thing.
No, for sure.
But if it was completely different every time, you'd be like, I don't know what the fuck. Animal Planet doesn't mean anything to me. But since you know you're going to get, and if you look to your left, the lions are playing with their cubs and something. It's going to be relaxing and cute and awesome. And so like you go back to Animal Planet because you know what you're going to get.
No,
I guess is another way of saying what I'm saying.
Almost, I don't mean this in like a negative connotation. Like Cozy, like Curious Archive is a channel I like.
Yeah.
Does like random games and like like evolution goes through it. Yeah, like you mentioned Jimmy. I wanted to just give a shout out to how much he motivated me when I began making content. If I could say something to Jimmy today, though, I would apologize because he, when he was getting reviewed by Asmongold, it was probably at the height of my RuneScape 3 cope. We were talking about MTX earlier, and kind of like how I would be like, well, just ignore it. He motivated me a lot, really, to get into content, and I started doing it, and then all of a sudden he started being negative to RS3, and I would apologize to him because I was just like, man, why are you shitting on the game now that Asmongold reviewed your video? And it's like, now I completely understand everything he meant. As weird as it sounds, and we were talking about earlier, don't apologize unless you like, really fucking, mean it. This is one... I think that content creation teaches you a lot, was the whole roundabout of this. Like, playing the game is one perspective of it, and then going into content creation is a completely different. And I really feel like it does give you like a unique perspective, and that's kind of what these people package. Jimmy does the funny story with the cinematics. You like to do a style that is also very like cinematic, funny, edgy, dad joke humor, and like being able to package that uniquely is important. I think it's hard because then you were again talking about the other aspect. You want it to be popular, and as weird as it sounds, excuse me, nobody gives a fuck until they give a fuck. Does that make sense? Like, because
totally.
Jimmy's storytelling, or your storytelling, is probably just as good as some other person's storytelling of a video that got 300 views, or something. I saw a video, bro, I got to send it to you later. One of the best old school videos I've seen in over a year. It's okay. You know how Settled died in the swamp to that vampire? It's the story of that vampire that some dude made in Creator Kit and has like 300 views.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
cool.
very funny. He like trains for it and everything to kill him.
That's really
funny.
funny.
Bro, he's like doing push-ups.
He's all jazzy. I'm gonna go fuck up this swamp lettuce guy.
Yeah, he like trains the whole time just to kill him super easy because he's AFK. Like, it's amazing, man.
Actually, the irony in that is really funny.
It's a great video.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'll send it to you later.
Wait, send that to me. Yeah.
I
actually want to watch this. No, that's such a good perspective to have on that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, when there is a balance. Like, I've got a few friends who are even smaller than me. Like, I'm a small channel, but my big advice to them is, keep making shit. Like, if you give up, just because your first video doesn't do well, you know, you're never gonna succeed, man. I mean, some people have like, you know, that hit come straight through. I can't actually minimize my Discord. I will send that to you though. I got it pulled up right here. But yeah, like, I don't know. Content creation is something I feel like everybody should mess around with, even if it's just not like, if you don't plan on doing it as a hobby, it does give you like a new perspective. You're like, holy shit, man, this takes a long time. You were talking about clips earlier and I didn't want to interrupt you again. I'm bad about that, by the way. There's like a slight delay, so sometimes I think you're done speaking.
Yeah, Discord can make it rough.
Yeah. But it's like, it gives you a unique perspective, because you were talking about like going through thousands of clips, and it's like, that can make it hard to even remember what you were doing a few months ago. Like, you got to literally manually go through these, and it takes just so much longer than people think.
Yep.
Do you have any advice to younger 9rain about content?
What would I tell myself? What would be, if I could tell myself to like
like a bit of
to
advice.
shoot it straight?
To shoot straight?
Damn, because there's a lot that I would do differently. I would say I started 2 series at the same time doing Iron Man and White Wolf, and had to pause White Wolf.
And would you go back and you would...
And I
had that pulled up.
I don't think that was wise. I think that was kind of disappointing for people. Or maybe I could have wrapped up White Wolf before. So like, there's just kind of choices that I made where I didn't see into the future about like, oh yeah, I'm going to be totally strapped doing this thing. And it let that project kind of fizzle out.
So don't get overcommitted, or sorry, yeah, no, that would be the word.
Yeah, I kind of overcommitted to these 2 different series. I guess the other, what would I tell myself? I don't know.
Drum more.
Cause here's the thing. If I knew what I would tell myself, I think I would be telling myself that right now, and I would be doing it that way. I'm always like, cause the idea behind the question is what didn't you know that would have saved you a lot of time or something? But I struggled through it, and I was always learning. And so I'm not, I think the only thing I would tell, I know the answer. The only thing I would tell younger 9rain, like 5 years ago, is you fucking got this. You can totally do this. And if you just keep doing the things that you know are the right thing, you will be successful, and it's going to be awesome.
Audience, and, he could not have said a better thing, chat. Lock the fuck in.
Yeah, and stop doing the things you know you shouldn't be doing, and start doing the things you know you need to do. And that would be it. And then with a good dash of, and you fucking got this. Because I just learned everything as I went and struggled through it. And there were a lot of really confusing, difficult, crappy moments in content creation. There's a lot of high points too. I love my job, but man, there's a lot of lows too. When you're creating a product that goes in front of people, and you're just like, I mean, dude, if I stop, the train stops. I'm not making any money. It is a job. If I put my heart and soul into an hour-long video and it gets like half the views that I expected, that just fucking sucks.
For sure.
And so there's a lot of that up and down. So I would just encourage my younger self. That's about it.
That's really solid advice, man. I mean, I need to hear it. I think other people need to hear that. You know, we only get a certain amount of time on this planet, and I was talking earlier about being a madman. It's like, though, when you're not making money yet, gotta run off passion, you know, like, be obsessed with it, and you can do it. I mean, I don't make nothing, you know, but I am monetized, so it's cool. You know, right now for me, it's, I might make enough to pay, you know, insurance on something or this and that, like that, and that's cool. But it's like, you know, when you do the stuff that you know you're supposed to be doing, it just succeeds. It's like with MMA, it's like, dude, when I was really fat when I started, so I knew I needed to, you know, get in better shape, etc.
Dude, okay,
lock in.
which that's the huge fucking elephant in the room for me is you do MMA. That's so fucking dope. That's
Oh,
so much
thank you.
cooler than content creation, man. I started boxing at this point like a year ago, and the
Oh, dude,
boxing gym
fuck
that I
yeah.
was going to closed after like 2.5 months. They I don't know, they just closed.
Dude,
I was so disappointed, and then they opened up another gym in its spot, but it was like fake cardio,
yeah, like cardio
like
kickboxing,
kickboxing,
mom shit,
which like I
blind
don't care.
mom.
Like I love that people do that, but I wanted some like I wanted to get
You want to be in with
fucking
the bros and get
nasty.
beat up a little bit and fucking feel like
Yeah,
shit when
and
you
so
leave.
I'm,
No,
dude,
you know what I mean.
I was having so much fun uh boxing, and I was pretty good at it too. Like
What were you, southpaw or orthodox? Right-handed, left-handed?
it was kind of a mix, man. Like that, because the two different guys coaching were from two different schools of thought,
Okay.
and I don't think I was far enough along that they cared so much. It was more like throw the fucking punch,
No, for sure.
and like you're not even throwing punches right. So
You should maybe look at getting back into it, man. Like
I have, man. There's
nowhere
as far
around
as
you.
I know, there's no good boxing gyms in this part of Austin.
That you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna look up when we get off
I
here.
was surprised. I was surprised.
Well,
There's I don't know if there's a mixed martial arts place in like southeast Austin.
so those typically when a place says MMA, most of the time they have the arts broken up into class because
Yep.
MMA is technically an umbrella term because
Yeah.
boxing would fall under it. Like our gym, shout out to Jeff Johnson, best kickboxing boxing coach ever. But like we have jujitsu class and wrestling class and boxing
Yep.
class and boxing sparring, or we have kickboxing night, this and that. So it's like you might be able to find you a place that might be mismanaged, but you're smart, or not mismanaged. The label isn't apparent, but you're
Yeah.
smart on getting out of the cardio kickboxing. Those places get people knocked out. And what I mean by that, no, I'm not throwing shame. I think if you're a wine mom and you want to go get a workout in while listening to like some pop music a couple nights a week, great. I actually think it's better than doing nothing. But cardio kickboxing places, you'll be seeing people hitting the bag like this. They're not telling you to keep your hands up and your elbows in and shit.
Right.
And
Right.
that people go out and get confident.
I
like,
don't
I
give
ain't
a
gonna
shit
protect you.
about the. If you're gonna make me get tired, you're gonna make me get tired for the sake of I'm gonna be tired in a fight. If you're gonna make
Yes.
me throw a punch, you're gonna make me throw a punch for the sake of I'm gonna be hitting someone in the face.
You want to be
Like
prepared, man. Because the thing is, like, what does it say where the guy's sleeping with a machete? It's a meme. I'm crazy every night but one.
Oh my
You know
god.
what
Yeah,
I mean?
you're the guy who sleeps with a machete is crazy every night but one.
Yes, and that's how I
That's
feel with
funny.
it, man. But no, you really should look into it. Anybody watching too. Like I try to say all the time, because like I'm sorry to go on a tangent about me real quick, but it's
No,
like
absolutely. How long have you been fighting? Like tell me about it.
I've been training 12 years since I was about 20, which is a little late for the competitive MMA scene. And I was 380 pounds, RuneScape player.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was really fat. I had some big old titties.
Dude, there were two of you.
Yeah, literally, I'm 100. I'm almost half the man I used to be. But I got into it, just wanting to lose some weight, and I thought it was cool. Some of my friends would like backyard box and shit, and I'm like, I want to be able to whoop someone's ass too. Like just a plethora of reasons. But I started training grappling, and one of my group Ironman teammates, Wolf, shout out to him, I love that man. But we still train together. Him and his brother were beating the fuck out of me. Like I'm bleeding after like my first kickboxing session and shit, sparring session. I trained for a while, and I realized, oh my god, I don't think this is for me. And like I went home and I'm thinking, man, I'm never sparring again. I can't do this. I cannot take the anxiety of standing in front of a dude and like sparring. I was a coward. And this is why my name is like so important to me, because I had to put my ego aside. I just got my fucking ass whooped that night. I have to show up tomorrow and do it again while I'm sore, while my ego's broken and hurt. And then over time, Pride Slayer became like this real motherfucker, and it's who I am now. As weird as that sounds, like I became like that thing I dreamed of. Every day that I showed up at the gym, the people who whooped my ass last week trained a little bit less, and I trained a little more, and slowly I became the big dog. Anyway, I left one gym for about 3 years, and I went from, I had already lost some weight at the first gym, the first one I started at, and I went to another gym and like got fucking jacked, started competing at 205. I was on like a win streak, all this shit, you know, was one of the just the best like local light heavyweights and heavyweights, because I compete at 2 different weight classes. But anyway, I went back to the first gym, right? And Wolf, my now group Ironman partner, was still there, but he hadn't really seen me. I kind of went into hiding for a while.
Yeah.
And just trained really fucking hard. Well, anyway, there was this big heavyweight there who used to mop the floor with me, bro. He's a guy who like busted my nose that very first time. And I came back, and Wolf knows exactly who I'm talking about. I whooped that motherfucker all over that. And he was so like dead after the first round. And I'm like, all right, who's next? Because like I got like bottomless cardio. Because yeah, like I'm a heavyweight and light heavyweight, and I'm like a more smaller size heavyweight. I'm 6'3", but you know, I'm 235. But at light heavyweight, I'm a big light heavyweight. I mean, there are people who are you know, taller, but that's still pretty big for light heavyweight. Most of those guys were about 5'10", 5'11" to 6.
Dude, I was just watching a video. Who's the fucking guy? His name starts with a J. He's from like Czech Republic, light heavyweight champion.
Jan Blachowicz?
No. It's a weird name. It's like a Czech name. It's like G.
Oh, Yuri Prohashka, yes. Jiri Prohashka. He has the top knot.
Dude, that guy's a fucking animal.
Yes. Well, I really like his movement and shit, because a lot of light heavyweights.
Yes, his movement is crazy, and he's your size too. He's 6'3".
Yep, and it's like he's a person who, you know, has inspired me a lot. But you know, I'm not getting any younger, so it's like I'm thinking about mostly moving out of MMA and just doing kickboxing and Muay Thai. Because what I was getting at is like I'm much more of a striker than I am a grappler now. I fell in love with that fear of standing in front of somebody, and there's like this. I don't like using the term get off on it, but being able to like physically in my mind stop the panic and control myself in the moment in order to defeat a fucking guy trying to break my face. There's a really like high level of like gratification from that. But yeah, it kind of turned into
yeah.
But yeah, as far as it being content creation, I actually, dude, I'd like to get into content creation, because I can only fight, you know, for 10 years if I'm healthy, 10 more years. Whereas content creation, I can fucking play RuneScape forever. It's a point and click game. It's, you know.
Yep. But, dude, I'm just trying to start fighting, and I'm 30. How old am I? 30.
He's like,
I'm 33.
Go check the calendar.
Dude, I think I'm going to be 34 this year. I don't, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Dude, as far as like training and competing, I think competing once or twice in an amateur thing for just even a normal person is really good for your like mental, because everything else is going to feel like easy in comparison, because it's fucking scary, man. But no, dude, we need to find you a gym or whatever. But bro, I have held you up. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, maybe the next creator clash is going to be like full MMA instead of boxing. It's just
side tangent. I was trying to get Foe to box me at RuneFest. Not even because I like him. I made a status about a few people. I thought it would be funny as fuck to have like a RS3 versus old school boxing thing. But I agree, dude.
Does Foe fight? Does he?
I know he does. Like, he was in the military, and I think I might have seen him post some stuff. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot of people who do it who I can literally like, you know, do a competition against. But
yeah, I've met him twice. He was in Austin for something, and so like we hung out and went to Topgolf.
He kicked me during Twisted League from his stream, and I've never forgiven him, because this was a sincere question. This was back before people could say the word autism, and it was like, you know, saying it was like cursing back then. But I was literally asking, do you guys think Wooks has autism? And like, he kicked me from his chat, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
That's funny.
Well,
I mean, I can
understand. Sensitive.
I can understand the. It sounds like a rage bait question.
Well, though it really wasn't. I was like, because people weren't as like open about, because this Twisted League was like what, 2019 or something?
That was.
It was a while ago. And it was like, I was sincerely asking, do you guys think he has autism? Because people started talking about it, and his chat just got like fucking mad at me. They booted me. But it's all good. I like Foe. Foe, if you hear this, unban me, dude. Or I don't think he banned me. I think he kicked me. I can still go in there. But all right. Well, brother, I have held you up longer than I anticipated, but it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
Like, this was a genuinely good conversation, man, and I'm sorry for taking your time this evening, but in the same way, you know, it's motivating for me to get a chance to talk to, you know, somebody like yourself. You've achieved a lot in this field, man. It's not easy to get 100,000 subs on YouTube. You know, it's not easy to get almost 10K followers on Twitter, and, you know, keep doing what you're doing. I respect.
Especially not if you lose them as frequently as I do.
Well, I was going to say, I'm glad that you're a person who we don't have to agree on everything. I like the fact that you're going to have your opinion without hitting the brakes so hard that you're disingenuous. You know, there's a difference between like patronizing somebody, you know, and being a dick. And I like how that you're real about it. It doesn't feel like you're doing either. It feels like you're real. So,
yeah. Thank you, man. I love disagreeing with people and then finding something that I agree with them on. And then you go, see, we're not that different.
Yep.
We probably have a lot more in common